YouTube, what is going on? Welcome back to Pitch Talk. Today, Chelsea and Manchester City 1-1 at the Etihad. What a result for Chelsea. What a performance from Chelsea. Spectacular. Chelsea just seemed to be Manchester City's kryptonite this season. Honestly, it was a brilliant game from Chelsea. I can't fault them um, in any parts of the field, in any aspect at all. I thought they were phenomenal, brilliant. This was not a display from a team that seems to be struggling this season, that seems to be a mid-table team. For me, this looked like a Chelsea that were going for the top four or going for the title. They took the game to Manchester City, they bossed portions of it, and they were very strong defensively. I thought quite unlucky to actually concede the goal from Rodri's shot. But for me, this was an absolute performance, another performance of the season from Chelsea. The last great performance they put in was the 4-4 draw at Stamford Bridge. So Chelsea seem to have Manchester City's number this entire season. This is huge for the title race, guys. Honestly, it's huge. Manchester City could not, they could not afford for this to happen right now. Not the worst result. Could have been a loss. City just didn't seem like they were going to score. Haaland was off, De Bruyne, Phil Foden, Julian Alvarez, Doku. All these star men just didn't come to the party. And Chelsea took full advantage of it. I think it was more of a case of Chelsea keeping those star players quiet than them not overperforming. But nonetheless, a team that are challenging for the title need to grind out the results, and they were not able to, especially with Liverpool beating Brentford 4-1 and Arsenal giving Burnley 5-0. So the title race is really heated right now, guys. City couldn't afford it, and they drop points yet again. At the Etihad is a shock because we know how lethal and deadly they are at the Etihad, but Chelsea brought the game. They took the game to Manchester City, and that's a very difficult thing at any stadium, let alone the Etihad. I thought everybody was brilliant. Poch's strategies, his analytics, everything was spot on. He knew exactly how to play to Manchester City's weaknesses, and there were one or two counter-attacks that Chelsea could have scored. I mean, the Nicholas Jackson miss, that was a huge one. They were very lethal on the counter-attacks today. You see more of that from Chelsea, and they will slowly climb the ladder. We still have a lot of games to go. We're only not even 3/4 through the season, so Chelsea are still there. Europe is still an option, I'd like to think. Maybe not Champions League, but definitely Europa League and Conference League. It's still there for them. This shows that they can perform, and they do have the team that can challenge, but it's a very inconsistent Chelsea, on and off, on and off. Today, unfortunately for Manchester City and Haaland, they were on. They were on the form, they were on the ball, and they were lethal. Who else to score against Manchester City at the Etihad but Raheem Sterling? What a goal. What a counter-attack, what a goal. Fantastic. Rodri, yet again, coming to Manchester City's rescue. Only getting a point this time, but in the last 10 minutes, City pushed. City pushed very hard. Chelsea were able to withstand that storm, and that's difficult. Not a lot of teams can do that, especially at the Etihad. Hats off to Caicedo and Enzo. They kept De Bruyne quiet. De Bruyne was moving to the right, to the left, down the middle, struggling to cause any real harm or damage to the Chelsea backline. Centre-backs, brilliant against Haaland. Doku kept quiet. Foden, not there. Alvarez, one or two shots, nothing major. So to be able to go to the Etihad and do what Chelsea did, there's not many teams that can do it. I've seen many teams around the world go there and try and absolutely get bossed. Chelsea did a big favour to the likes of Liverpool and Arsenal for this title race. It gives a little bit of breathing space. City still have the game in hand, so it's still very tight there at the top, but it leaves it open. It leaves it for all three teams still challenging. Spurs drop points, Newcastle drop points, So top three is still very, very wide open between the three of them and who will win this title. It's a matter of who's going to drop points at the vital moment. And although City drew, it still doesn't look like any of the three teams are going to drop points. Arsenal keep thrashing teams 4 or 5-0. Liverpool ground out results even with the injuries, and City are just City. They're lethal. So it's a step back, it's a setback, but it's not the end of the world and it's not game over for City. They will bounce back against Brentford at the Etihad, and we know that they're going to come out firing. Pep Guardiola would expect that. That's the absolute minimum that he would expect, is for City to come out firing. Guys, let me know what you think. What a result for Chelsea in their very inconsistent season. What a poor result for Manchester City, and it leaves the title race wide open. Let me know what you think. What's going to happen? Who's going to win the league? What happened to City today? Guys, like, subscribe, ring the bell. I'll check you guys soon. Ciao, guys.